How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Eventually, Jimmy Farrell is going to come over here. And again, this hat is for you. It's for you. I like Jimmy Farrell. I do. And again, I will. Well, hopefully, I will say this. Hopefully, I'll still be staying with him for the draft next year because that's my draft house. Hopefully. And shalom to you as well there, Bishop. But here, Bishop is here, and he will prove my point. Sharif is here. He will prove my point. You have a team. Don't be wishy-washy. Don't be wishy-washy. Oh, the draft's in Pittsburgh next year, Sharif. And I unless things have changed, the draft is in Pittsburgh next year. And, oh, God, Marshy has it's just fucking batting practice. It's batting practice tonight. I admit, yeah, the Braves are not this bad. But this is batting practice. Schwarber has 4 home runs, 7 RBIs, 8 RBIs. They're up 18-4. And I said this is for Jimmy Farrell because Jimmy Farrell, who is a bandwagon fuck, pick a team and stick with it. Because technically, I've been a Phillies fan longer than I've been a Raiders fan. Yeah, I agree with you, Sharif. 30 years ago, the Braves had the best pitching assets in the league. They did. Oh, I'll get to that, Bishop. I'm kind of rubbing it into Jimmy Farrell right now. Because remember, they had it was Glavine, Smoltz, Maddox, and then there's always that fourth guy, Steve Avery. See, I got him. Because everybody usually forgets Steve Avery. But that was 30 years ago. In the 70s, you can go way back in the Wayback Machine. The Baltimore Orioles had 4 20-game winners on their staff. 4 20-game winners on their staff. Jim Palmer, Dave McNally, Mike Cuellar, and let's see here, Ross Grimsley, I believe, was the 4th. Everybody kind of always forgets about Ross Grimsley. But things go. What I'm saying is, Jimmy, you're a Yankee fan. Bishop is a Doyer fan. He doesn't, it's always the Dodgers. Phillies fan, dude. Been one since 72. Technically, longer than I've been a Raiders fan. Because in 72 is when I became a Raiders fan. But obviously, baseball season is before football season. Yeah, and the bet is, he said 9. If the Raiders win, was it 9 or 10? It was either 9 or 10. We gotta write this down. I know it's either 9 or 10. Dodgers ain't number 1. No, they're not. the Milwaukee Brewers. Oh, 11. Okay. If the Raiders win 11 games, thank you for that, Fearless. If the Raiders win 11 games, one of those small, what do you call it? The small helmets. We call it the small helmets. One of those small helmets will go to Hot Meal. Hot Meal used to always do, the Raiders would be like, what, 17, 18-0. It was fun. But that's the bet. I got to remember it's 11. It's Janikowski. John Sousa's in the house. I don't know if you saw the graph. But you got me on the graphic, John on the big fucking. I only have and I don't even have my fucking tablets up. I don't understand. Okay, if I need this, I will turn that up. So, tell you what. Let's do this. Okay. Hopefully, no more spinning circles of death. Matt Marinovich came back over. Thank you there, sir. John Souza is here. On Thursday nights, that's fine. That's fine there, Fearless, a.k.a. I know who you are, Hot Yo. Now I know who you are. You were like, we've known each other for years. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you are, but now I know Hot. But that's fine. Yeah, virus. Yeah, I get it, man. Yeah, you don't have to apologize for changing your name, dude. That's fine. As long as I know who you are. So, Hot Neil, aka Raider Fearless, bet me that the Raiders would win 11 games. If they do win 11 games, I will give a mini helmet. That's what it's called, a mini helmet to Hot Neil. I'm actually hoping that they do win 11 games, because if they win 11 games, that means I won a bet. They should be a playoff team. If they win 11 games, they should be a playoff team. Bishop says 12. Bishop, I'd love that. I'd love for that to be happening. But that is, I mean, I'm not expecting it. But it'd be great. Be great. And yes, I do have my Raider hat. I have it ready. But this was definitely, and while they're beating the crap out of the Braves, I'm gonna keep it on. Cillian looks to be 10. Don't know about our DB. Yeah, I agree with this with Matt. 10 would be great. 10 would be fantastic. 10 would be on the cusp of a playoff team. 10 would be on the. You win 11, you're a playoff team. I'm pretty sure about that. Although I do agree with this, 10 wins, 10 plus wins could miss the playoff. The AFC is fucking stacked. But now that we said that, let's get to the news of the day. The Dallas Cowboys, and I predicted this the other night when I was on with Coach. And unfortunately, it didn't get broadcast to this channel. I'm mad. But go back to the Coach Defense Coach Defense podcast. I'm pretty sure. I got to get these YouTube channels in my head. But Coach Defense is on with me. It's his channel. coach defense. It's Alex Givens. Kansas City. It's Rob Garcia, the other Charger fan. There's Coach Dub, who is a Washington fan. Nice guy. And this year, coming in when we can, will be members of the NFL Nation Live crew. And I looked at my schedule. I'm going to be able to be on every Tuesday except when the Raiders play on Monday night in Vegas. I did check. I should be home. Here's the fingers crossed. I should be home by the time I get to see. Oh, is that a gopher boat? No, that's just a long out. Okay, nice catch. End of the eighth. Or end of the top of the eighth. When I go see Micah Parsons play for the Green Bay Packers on Monday night against the Eagles, I should, on the Tuesday flight home, I should be home in time for the Tuesday night coaches show. But when the Raiders play the Cowboys the following week on Monday night, I won't be back because I'll have a later flight, most likely. And I know that I'm not going to make the broadcast when we have our opener there. Hey, John, did I give you this way? I got it. And we're going to be joined by John. Are you ready to come in? I hope so. We're gonna talk tonight. And again, I don't have any tablets up. Don't have any tablets up. So there's I don't know why there should be a lag. I don't think there should be a lag in my computer. It is. I will even move the microphone. Is that better? Is that better on the mic? Because I even moved it right towards my mouth. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I agree with this. Yeah, I put the link up. Right there. Right there, right there, right there. There you go, John. If you're watching, hit the link. That's for John. 1. Oh, we're seeing all of Schwarber's home runs. Or was that the last one? I don't know. 4 home runs. I'm so happy. He was 0 for 20. He had a 0 for 20 coming into today's game. He was 0 for 20. That is a slump. That is a slump. Over 20. Who's up? Oh, the Braves have a position player playing pitching. The reason why I know that is because this guy is like, he's not, you can tell a pitcher is not a pitcher. You know, like kind of like a salt, he's like going like this, just throwing it up there. Oh my God. If Schwarber, Vidal Brujan, okay, 3 games, 2 innings pitched. He almost hit who's that? Kepler? Almost hit him on the toe. I will agree with this. If Love continues to improve, like I said, if Love does continue, Packers should go far. So having said that, Thanos, you're gonna have to wait a little bit there, Thanos. I'm gonna chop it up with John for a little bit, but Black Thanos will be joining us after we hear from our boy, the Mad Bomber John Siegel. By the way, make sure you go and hit up the YouTube channel. I'm gonna keep this on until the Phillies are done. Like I said, they're just it's 18-4. and I would love to see Schwarber come up again and get number 4. That would be great. And then, like I said, they got some guy who's just is throwing up, like softball practice or whatever. Like somebody that comes in like that. Oh yeah, and Botter is safe. Comes off the pitcher's glove, and the shortstop can't get it. So the runner, there's first and second. It's obvious it's the bottom of the 8th. So this is the Phillies' last at bats. I don't expect the Braves to get 14 runs to tie it. I don't expect that. So we'll be doing this pretty soon. So who's this? Oh, this guy is horrible. There's no way in hell Schwarber will be able to get 5 home runs. This guy can't even hit the strike zone. He's going to walk everybody in.
Do they have like a defensive pitch for somebody?
Yeah. It's a position
Like a shortstop.
Play. I don't know what this kid plays, but he said he's done this before. He's pitched 3 games, 2 innings. Stott just had a long out. Kepler goes from second to third, so there's 1 out. Stott's usually down at the end of the order, so they might have, because it's normally Stott's 9. Okay, no, Stott's in there, and then so there's Sosa. So Sosa is Sosa's in the okay. Schwarber's on deck.
Yeah.
Schwarber's on deck. And Sosa just got a single, got in another run. So Kepler's in. It's 19-4. And Schwarber's up to bat with 2 on. 2 on, 1 out. I'm sorry. I'm excited. I apologize.
No, get me up to speed. I just got back from Seattle. Tell me what's going on. How many home runs has Schwarber hit?
4 tonight. He said 4 home runs.
Smokes. This has to be. Is this a contract year almost?
Yeah, this is his contract year. First pitch.
Oh my! Gee, it always happens like that, right?
4 for 5, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs.
Cap. I think you're squirreling.
No, baby. Oh no, he popped him. He popped him up. They pop like it was one of those. It was like one of those 60-mile-an-hour, and Schwarber just but he didn't hit it correctly. He didn't hit it correct, and of course he's getting a standing ovation. So now
you think?
Yeah, you think, right? I said so. Somebody's up. So that normally this would be who's this? Is that Weston Wilson? Yeah, Wilson's there, and Wilson gets popped up. Because again, it's like a softball pitcher. It's like you're used to speed. That's 3 outs. Bishop, no, he won't be a Dodger next year. I'm going to tell you where he's going.
I wouldn't bet against it.
No. I'm going to tell you this. Kyle Schwarber will either be a Philly. He will either be a Philly if he wants to go back to the Phillies. Or, and this is for real, he's going to be a Cincinnati Red.
Why do you say that?
Because he's from Ohio. He stated he's always wanted to play for his hometown team. He's always loved the Reds. So he would give them a discount. So the Dodgers can throw all the money in the world at him. He ain't going to the Dodgers. He ain't going to the Dodgers because the Phillies can throw all of that money out too. The Phillies have,
and he's already got a ring.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's going there to chase a championship.
Right. But he doesn't need to change. He's already has a championship with the Cubs.
Right. Well, and I think, that makes sense. I don't know anything about his background other than that he's from Ohio. But guys in the waner years like to go back and have their families come and see them play at the final day. And, it's kind of a swan song. I don't think he's swan song yet, but it makes sense if he's going to go home.
Yeah. He's either going to stay in Philadelphia He's going to stay in Philadelphia, which is where on the East Coast, which is only a quick 2-hour plane ride from Ohio. He ain't going to fucking L.A. I'll bet you, Bishop, I will bet you $500.
Woo.
$500. $500, Bishop. That's a lot of money for your pulpit, isn't it? If you want to put your money where your mouth is. Because that's coming out of your pocket. You talk about the Dodgers have deep pockets? Dodgers have deep pockets. $500. $500. $500. He ain't gonna be a Dodger. He ain't gonna be a Dodger.
Speaking of dollars, how about that contract that Micah Parsons signed today?
Well, yeah, let's talk about. I know what he was. What do you call it? What the compensation was, but I didn't hear what the contract was.
Yeah, I'm so 188 is a 4-year, $188 million contract.
What's guaranteed? 160 or something?
It was 136 million guaranteed, but he gets he gets $61 this year signing bonus and status, so he's going to do very well. What's your thoughts before I jump in on this, because I have heavy thoughts on this.
Well, first off, I was saying that I said this 2 nights ago on the coach show. He goes, "Are they going to get a deal done?" And I said, "No, they're not going to get a deal done. He will not. He will not be playing for the Cowboys this year. He won't be playing for the Cowboys. He'll take the year off. He'll do something, but he ain't playing for the Cowboys." I said that.
Agreed that.
And I said that. And, then it says that, it didn't happen, so no, Bishop, I'm not going to take your $5,000 because I don't want your wife to be pissed off at me. And you can't afford to lose that. You can't afford to lose that. So I'll only hit you up for 500, sir. Being the good Judeo-Christian that I am, I'll only take you for $500.
That's a nice guy right there.
Yeah. I'll only take you for $500. This way your wife won't be too pissed at me, because I could have had $4,500 more. Only $500. Yeah, such a deal. Ed, when you say that, you got to say, such a deal. Such a deal. Oh, oiga vault, such a deal.
Yeah, in my opinion on that trade, it looks like the Cowboys are going to be getting the number 1 pick, which was going to be anywhere between 24 and 30, 2 years in a row, and then Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark is, I think he made it 1 Pro Bowl. That was a throw, and I'm glad we did not. In my opinion, this is my opinion, and I put this on Twitter today, and it was heavily contested that I said, I think it would have been a stupid move. There's too much money going involved. And the last thing we need to do is set this contract back, seeing if something happens like a critical happens to this guy. Then we're done. Then we're really, really done, because 17% of the contract's going to be to one guy who may or may not be there all the time. He's 26 years old. I mean, the risk to the reward is in the eye of the beholder. I don't think we're that team yet. Maybe the 2000 Raiders, yeah, but not the 2025 Raiders right now. That's the piece you put on the Christmas tree last.
Yeah, that's the star. That's the star on top of the Hanukkah bush. See what I did there? That's the star on the Hanukkah bush,
But so, I just I'm glad we didn't. I heard we were in the sweepstakes.
We were poking around.
Yeah.
But
that's what I love about Spy Tech.
the reason why I think we said no was when we figured out because it's not what you give up. It's not what you give up. It's what he's going to cost you. Right.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
he costs you, what was it? It was at 180 and then 120.
Yeah, 136, 136 guaranteed. That's
No.
4 years, Cap. That's 4 years.
Yeah, no, and he's what, 26 now. So then he'll be looking for another contract when he hits 30, 31.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm glad we didn't bite into that. I'm into. Plus, this is Max's team, and I know Max is such a professional that he wouldn't even he would open and be like, he's just that guy. He wants to win. I know Max likes the money. Who doesn't? But I can just tell you that right now that this is just not the star move we need yet. But swinging back, because you and I are going to have a great talk tomorrow night on my podcast. But I would like to know what you thought of the Raiders bringing back what you thought about the Raiders bringing Amari Cooper back.
Amari Cooper right now is a jag. I hate saying that. He's just another guy.
Okay.
He's just another guy.
What do you think his upside is?
Well, he can be a specter of what he used to be. He can be a specter of what he used to be, but Amari Cooper is only as good as Amari Cooper wants to be.
Oh, totally agree with that. That is just the what I look at it too. I think he's got a $500,000 bonus for every game additional slot wide receiver. Absolutely. Perfectly said. But I do believe that he's a guy, if they're looking at something, and I'm taking everything that Pete Carroll says with a grain of salt. I'm hinging on his every word, but I'm also making sure that he's going to be held accountable for everything he's saying, and so far so good. But I think what he said is that he's going to be, he wanted a little bit more depth, a little bit more experience with those guys. And I was pretty happy with the pickup for the amount of money is. But when I saw the $500,000 a game bonus, I was trying to pick my own mind going, okay, could he be a healthy scratch against the team, to hold that money back? If he's not playing well, is he going to be? And then all of a sudden there's rumblings on week 4 and 5. What's going on with Amari Cooper? So 3.5 plus 5 plus 500,000 per game is what Amari Cooper got.
Okay, then that's a damn good contract. If he gets $1 million for every 2 games, that's $1 million every 2. Okay, and if he plays 17, that's another $8.5 million.
Right.
Okay, and what's his base?
And what's that?
What? So that's his bonus. What's his base? Was it 3?
3.5.
Okay, so if he gets 8.5 as a bonus and he gets 3.5, that's a hell of a lot of money. So he actually made a good that good for him. But like you said, if I'm the Raiders, you better be performing in practice. We talk about practice, not a game.
That's right.
Practice. Yeah, I'm doing my best, Allen Iverson.
I know.
You got to be performing, and if he shows that, that's great for the Raiders. But then if they don't want to pay him 8.5, that's like what, 8, 9, 10? That's like 12. Did I do that right?
And I was 100% sure. Yeah, I mean, if he can get an extra. Let's see, there's 17 games, right? So half of 17, just gonna say it's 16 is 8.5, and then he's got 11.5. Now that's what I was talking to myself about, and I made sure that I read that right, that there was a 500,000 bonus. And what I'm saying to myself is, if we're gonna go into what blah, blah, blah. And he hasn't had a catch in 2 games. Is he going to be a healthy scratch? You know,
Well,
is he and then
right. And I would think it's like, and I would have to see how is the contract written by his agent. If he's not on the game day roster, is that
I think
what
it's game day. It's game day roster is what I read. And again, I could
Okay.
be because I've been in Seattle watching foot baseball the last 2 days, so I've been
Right.
trying to catch up. And that's what I saw, and I saw it 2 places. So, unfortunately, one of the places I trust, the other place I don't trust.
Okay.
But I mean, um, I was
See,
trying to find
I'm glad you told me it's 500K per game. I heard it was 3.5 and 500K. I'm like, okay, well that's 4,000 or 4 million. That's not bad. But if it's 500K per game, that makes it quite different.
And I
That
read it
makes-
twice. And if I'm wrong, I apologize everybody because I've been gone and I haven't been on I haven't been in the lab to do it. But as you're looking at the depth chart now, they have him as a starter with Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, Amari Cooper, Jacoby Myers are your 3 starting wide receivers behind they have Dante Thornton behind Jacoby Myers right now, and I don't know why it's that way. And Jack Besh behind Amari Cooper. So I don't know what's going on. And this has been an updated depth chart because I see Kenny Pickett and Aiden O'Connell on there and Raheem Mostert. So it's going to be next week is going to be a very, very, very interesting week to watch. Watch to see what's manifesting on who's going to start. Why is I had heard Kenny Pickett today on the Raiders radio talk about him and Amari are going to be throwing all week, and not to jump around, but it sounded like him and Amari Cooper have been, doing a little bit of extra work because he had talked about he had to get a place to live today, stuff like that. He was really in a hurry, but he said this week and next week, after practice, him and Amari Cooper were going to get together and work out. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what you get left in the guy. I don't know. And you're right. I've seen the guy just totally quit on plays. I've seen him quit in Buffalo. I've seen games where he's quit in Buffalo. In fact, when he played the Raiders last year in Allegiant, he quit in that game when he was with the Browns.
Yeah. And I was saying that, and I don't remember what game it was, but when he was treated, and I'm going to say it, he was treated like a little bitch. And I think it was Pac-Man.
It was his first year. He was a rookie.
Pac-Man Jones. Yeah, and he fucking
threw him on him.
He slammed him to his head. He slams his head on the ground. Treat him like a little bitch.
Remember?
Yeah. You remember that too,
So,
John?
well, anyway, that was something that I was worried. Well, to you, your show. I ask you questions all the time. I tell your listeners, I call you and pick your brain. I love picking your brain. So this is fun for me. But who was the surprise cut for you? Because we haven't talked. I've been in Seattle watching baseball, so I haven't had to be able to just got home 20 minutes ago. Who was the surprise cut and the surprise stay?
I think the surprise stay, I want to say was Lindenberg, because I think that he was a surprise stay because of I expected them to do what they did with Malott and Miller once they got Pickett. I think Lindenberg was a surprise stay because the other surprise stay, and actually this is the surprise cut. And was it me and you that were talking about Mumford yesterday? Or was it no, it was
Yes.
I know who it was. It was
no. We were talking about it last.
Yeah. It was Navman was talking about Mumford and said how much of I'm gonna say it, a fucktwad he was. He was a fucktwad. Navman went up to Mumford in a place in Vegas, and again, just went up to say hi, hey, nice to meet you, sir. I've been a Raiders fan all my life, and Mumford goes up to him. And I will say this: I know for a fact that Navman Bob, who is a senior chief, or is he a senior chief or a master chief? He's a retired either an E8 or E9 in the Navy, and brotherhood. Okay, we don't lie to each other. We don't lie. We don't put in bullshit terms. He said that Mumford said to him, "Fuck you, man," and basically gave him the brush off. But not only did he just give a brush off, he's like, fuck you, dude. Like you're a little peon. I'm fucking Thayer Mumford, the Raiders tackle, not even a starting tackle at that. And he just totally blew him off. And for him to do that, I was like, what a fucktwat. That's my kind of like my expletive of the like the last couple of weeks. I like to say that. And you know what? If that's true, and I'm pretty sure it is, okay, goodbye, Thayer Mumford. And the fact that they got rid of him and they ended up getting a kid from the Seahawks who played for the Gators, because I looked at the chart when they picked up Brennan, the guy from the Rams, the edge rusher / linebacker, they picked him up.
Right.
They picked him on her, but they also picked up a tackle guard. His name was
Stone Forsythe.
Yeah,
Stone Forsythe.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I like that. I like that move.
I remember when you had Lincoln Kennedy on, and remember you had asked him about the offensive line and putting Thayer Mumford guard, and Lincoln said that he was going to be a swing tackle, and that's why they didn't want to put him guard. And right. I think that happened in the preseason was he got ball. He used to have it. And obviously Carroll must have something in practice that just really, got under his goat. I do believe in Carroll. Believe me, when I say that I'm holding him at face value, that's just because we've had so many coaches since ever that I'm tired of hearing things and I want to see things. And I do think that I'm going to be really, really happy with Carroll. I just got back from Seattle and they told me nothing but good. They missed him. They're happy for now, but they missed him. And I believe that he's going to surround himself with guys that are competitive. And if you heard Spytek again yesterday, he likes to play those young players, man. He wants those young guys playing. Stone Forsythe, I did a little bit of homework on him, and he's got nice feet, but he gets beat speed wise. He can get speed on the get beat by speed on the outside. It looked like that was his Achilles heel, but all in all, he's a nasty player. He's definitely a nasty type of player for sure.
Well, he played for if you're talking about the tackle, he played for Florida. And Florida, I know those offensive linemen for Florida as a Gator, and yeah, they're big and they're mean. So and I kind of remember him from a couple of years ago. So he's got like 5 years in the league, so I do remember that. And so basically, they got rid of somebody in Mumford, and they got basically. I think Forsythe had just moved into that swing tackle role because Dalton Wagner.
He did. They have him.
Foot. Yeah,
they do. They have him. They have him behind Glaze, which means he's going to be the swing because Grant's still too young, and I think that they noticed that too. That they like Grant, and I've heard like when they had a coaches talk last week, they had Leonard and all the coaches talking last week, and a lot of good things about Grant. I was totally surprised, like that Lindenberg made. Amari Gainer didn't. I'm I feel like the Amari Gainer club. I've been watching this with the waiver wire to see if somebody even picked him up on the practice squad, and I have not seen anything yet on him unless I'm missing it again. I've been gone, so I haven't really been a deep dive into what's going on there. The guy I was really, really happy for, and I'm telling you, man, love this kid is JJ Pegues. I love this kid. I mean, I saw what he did in preseason, but you go back to his college tapes. This kid's an athlete, man. And it's like the only thing is he may have a little Allen Iverson in him from what some of the people say, but you know what? He's got a clean slate with me until he proves me wrong. And that guy is just, oh God, is he active? He's just a very, very active young man. And I like him a lot. And your guy Mike Sarah Cooper's a veteran present, can help our young receiver. Absolutely give him a chance. Absolutely.
Mike. We're not poo-pooing Cooper. We're not poo-pooing Cooper. I'm just saying Cooper will play.
Not at all.
Cooper will play as good as he wants to. He will play as good as he wants to play. Okay, I'm not poo-pooing Cooper at all. If Cooper wants to play like his original, the way he was years ago when he was a Raider and he wanted to play for the Raiders. And I'm going to say, I'm Black Thanos. I'm sorry. I'm going to cite your favorite player. When him and Derek Dallas Carr had that connection, and they did for several years, Carr to Cooper was a connection. And that was something that was feared. Okay. It's actually before Carr used to have 15. What's his nose? The number 15 that he used to use.
Oh, Michael Crabtree.
Thank you.
Michael Crabtree.
Right. Crabtree became that guy, but before Crabtree came on the team, it was Cooper. And if Cooper wants to be that guy again, that's great. That's great. And we'll get to that. Hey, Johnny, I'm not sure if it's my internet or your internet, but you sound like you're underwater when you're coming in.
I don't know. Could be mine, and I've got the link right next to me. Is this better right here?
A little bit, yeah, but it's like
How's that?
We're coming out. So, and people always say that I have the shitty internet, so I don't know anymore.
How about this one? How about now? Test.
Yeah, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I well, for next week, get back to my studio. But another one that was, that I thought I was a little upset that they got rid of was Andre Carter. I had some good preseason games, but I mean, if you look at the depth chart, other than cornerback, which is a question mark, just right now, folks, do not get like it's going to be the end of the life. Did you see that Marcus Epps got the
Johnny? You are horribly choppy. You are horribly choppy. You are horribly. I heard talking about Marcus Epps, and then I couldn't. That's all. It was like, did you hear Marcus Epps? And I didn't hear it. Yeah, but I don't know why.
How about now?
Yeah, better now. No lag.
Now. How you feel now? How's that?
Yeah, there's still a bit of a lag. Folks, is it me? I hate saying it. Is it me or is it Johnny? I don't know at this point because I know that I can't hear you very well. People usually says it's my fucking internet that I have the bad internet. I don't know.
I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. When you said perfectly, Matt says it's Johnny. Okay. AJ says time's up. Okay. Well, AJ or Bishop, sir, I know that you were doing shows with Angelo. Are you saying that you're my producer now, and Johnny's got to go? Oh, okay.
Johnny's got to go if we can't hear her.
Yeah, Johnny's Wi-Fi is performing like Tyree. Okay, I got that. But anyway, hey Johnny, work on that.
Hey, all right, and then I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, we will. And for those who don't know, like I said, I will be on Johnny's YouTube tomorrow night. It's at Mad Bomber Podcast. Please go to at Mad Bombers Podcast. It's on YouTube. Please go to that show.
All right.
That's
Thanks. Hey, thanks everybody. Sorry about the logo, but hopefully we'll see everybody tomorrow. Cap, love you, buddy. You're the best.
brother. It's always good hearing from you. You take care now.
Okay, man. Bye.
All right. That's Johnny. I didn't know. I don't. Okay. Well, if you're a producer, do you have the keys to the kingdom? Angelo does. Angelo has. He can come in and I just said, don't give me any more YouTube strikes. Don't give me any more YouTube strikes. But I was fighting through it. I wanted to hear what Johnny has said. Remember, at Mad Bomber Podcast tomorrow night, please make sure you have him on your YouTube. Now, having said that, we are now joined by Black Thanos, aka Sharif Salah Khan, and I'm not fucking up your last name anymore. You notice that? I'm getting it right, like all the time now. Sharif, give me a mic check, brother.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check.
Good to hear you. What's going on, Sharif, and your best thoughts tonight?
All right, thank you, Cap. Yeah, it's been a little rough lately, but the upcoming Raider season is helping me come along. You probably heard it basically exactly a week ago today. I was out of state for a funeral. So saying goodbye to a loved one who's
Sharif,
pretty.
may I ask, is this the Danielle Spencer that was on the show What's Happening?
Yes, absolutely. That would be her. Indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I was a week ago today in a private ceremony by invitation of a mom and all of that. But it's a part of life, and we gotta soldier on. So
Right. Well, hey, before we go there again, my deepest condolences to you, to Danielle's family, and to all the special loved ones. Because I got bunch of other things going on, and I didn't quite catch all of the different things. So my best to you and to her, because I got other shit going on. Not that I'm poo-pooing your stuff. I'm saying
no. Yeah.
guys, I wasn't right up on, but I was like, yeah, that and I remember saying, I'm like, wow, okay, so it really is D from What's Happening. So again, my condolences to you, and Bishop sends his condolences as well. And I know that he being a man of faith will obviously make sure that she's in all of our good thoughts and prayers, sir. And you as well as her family, sir.
Well said, Cap, and much appreciated. Yeah, it was a good send-off. Messages from the governor of Virginia as well as the mayor of the city of Richmond, and billboards being erected along some of the roads out there. So it was a great moment of recognition and love towards her for everything she's done and endured, in this lifetime.
Amen.
However, I'm gonna touch on Micah Parsons real briefly. Yeah, the money is almost like Kevin Durant, like as some of these non-quarterbacks are venturing into NBA type figures. The craziest thing for me is that he went to the Packers, who consistently beat Dallas in the playoffs. The Cowboys may have another ring or so in the last 15 years, if not for the Packers.
Yeah.
Because they've been their number one thorn in their side recently, and going back more even to the Des Bryant days. It's always been if they play the Packers in the divisional round, that's the end of the Cowboys season. You can almost bet money on it.
That's for sure. And now, by the way, if you're going to throw that up there, Dez had that was a touchdown, correct? With Dez, in your mind?
The best that I can remember it, but I do recall initially, yeah, I believe it was a TD. And I think now with some of the rule revisions and the extra stuff that they do in instant replay, I think it would have been ruled in his favor now. But if I'm not mistaken, that was in Green Bay. So you know how that go.
No,
it wasn't.
It was in Dallas. I remember.
Sure? Wow.
Yeah, it was in Dallas. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me that. But I'm pretty sure the Dez Bryant catch was in Dallas. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me that, but I'm pretty sure because Dallas was wearing. I just remembered. I remember it was kind of on the turf. It wasn't on the grass. It was on turf. So when Dez did that and he reached out, it was on a turfish, not grassy type field. So let me y'all check that, but I'm pretty sure it was in Dallas and I remember the fact that it was Green Bay had to go to Dallas and everybody was saying, oh, they're going to walk all over him. But I said, no. Green Bay has their number. And for sure it was.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I think it, I mean, I honestly, I would always throw it in my buddy is a big Dallas fan. That's on my personal Facebook page. And
Right.
I would just, throw it in his face and said, it was incomplete or whatever.
But there is no way the Raiders could have paid him that much. Now I do give the GM credit for at least making a phone call. That's the very least you could do because you got nothing to lose by at least making an inquiry. Know, so he did at least do that, unlike Tom Fiasco. But literally 47 million per year almost. No. And his critics say he tends to disappear against some of the better tackles in the game. He's got a lot of nice highlights or whatever, but when he plays against some of the better talent up front for some teams, he tends to be taken out the equation according to some of his critics. I don't watch the Cowboys extensively enough to confirm that, but it's interesting, especially someone coming off an injury. But the Packers, you got to like their chances coming out the NFC conference.
Yeah.
With Love over there and our dear friend Josh Jacobs as well. And how far they went a year ago, and now they're going to put a absolute force on the other side of the ball to trouble Jayden Daniels and some of their opponents. And if by some chance they get home field advantage in the NFC, who knows? It could be them in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because I firmly believe the fix is in for them. Now to our friend Cooper, who for some reason just suffers from the Rodney Dangerfield disease. No respect. He's got I guess he needs a new PR person. Yeah. Because he's sort of like graffiti. It's tough for people to read him because of his persona, his deadpan facial expressions.
True.
But we shouldn't be so preoccupied with what a person is thinking or what their personality is, because we've had 101 different personalities in the history of the Raiders. That's what's always made us great, and a mosaic of rebels and individualists, but who bought into the mission. The bottom line is the kid has been competent and productive throughout his entire career. You can go back to last year in a shortened season when he went to Buffalo and they already kind of had like a number one over there. But he's had with the exception of Buffalo, he's had multiple 1,000-yard seasons with every team he's been with.
7 1,000-yard seasons, because I knew you were going to bring that up, and that was it.
Absolutely,
fantastic. But Sharif, I will say though, it's when he wants to play, and I will stand by that as well. I like Amari Cooper. Hell, I just got another jersey that became available in my closet. I can get that one. Right?
Yes, I still have mine as well, believe it or not, the old iron-on jersey. To me, it's a smart move. He was there for the taking. He said all the right things at the press conference. And I believe he's conscientious of some of the things some Raider fans feel. I'm not going to put him in the Warren Sapp, Randy Moss category. Not at all. Okay. Because 2018 was a weird year for this franchise. Crabtree was out of here. The GM McKenzie was out of here. The punter King. So Cooper was just another casualty. But for some reason, people harp on him like he didn't want to be here. 3 players retired, as me and you touched on the other night. Grimaldi, I think Tank Carradine, or some other defensive player. I've never seen that watching football all of my life, where you had 3 men on the 53 retire during the year. So while we blaming Cooper and painting him as the bad guy, it was a lot going on. Plus, Oakland itself, and my apologies to my beautiful friends in Oakland, it was a depressing place at the time. We didn't know where the Raiders were going to end up. People couldn't even park their damn cars without the windows being smashed. You know, so Cooper's not impervious to that. He comes from Alabama, a school of prestige, stability, productivity, and glory. He won the Fred B. Award, after Raider Hall of Famer Fred Belinkendorf. He can still run routes. And with Genty there, with Bowers there, now you have a 5-time Pro Bowler who gives our opponents another weapon that they have to consider. So I think it's a very smart move, and you didn't overpay for someone with a reputation for getting in trouble or speeding or domestic disputes. None of that is attached to Cooper's name. Instead, we had Devontae Adams a year ago fake an injury, and I've never seen Cooper do that. People can guess, oh, he mentally checked out. Unless you talk to him one-on-one, you don't know what was he thinking about. But we watch Adams play this franchise for a fool. Oh, I can't play, and stand around in street clothes until we got him to New York, and all of a sudden he was magically healed to play with Aaron Rodgers.
He was healed in time for the fucking show in the morning on the NFL Network. He was on the fucking. He gets off on a red eye and is in there for NFL whatever for the NFL Network, and it's just bright as a beam, right? Standing where with Aaron fucking Rodgers. Look where I'm at. Ooh, we're gonna have a ball. Bull fucking shit.
Yes, isn't it nice when karma, delivers? So the people who are still giving Cooper a hard time, think of some of the others who've been through here, like Antonio Brown. When he got his release, he was running in his backyard like he won the lottery.
Yeah. But if I will say though, and again, I don't poo-poo his ability. I don't think I've ever poo-pooed his ability. I told you 7 1,000-yard season is nothing to sneeze at. And a lot of times he had to do that over two teams. Plus,
right.
And tell me if I'm wrong, wasn't his year last year or the year before with the Browns his most productive year as a receiver was with the Browns?
I'm pretty sure, and Deshaun Watson was suspended. Yeah. So it would make sense to most people say, "Oh, he got to play with Deshaun," and he experienced what we experienced last year. It was like 3 different quarterbacks he played with that year. Yeah. But number wise, it was one of probably his best year, yardage wise, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not touchdown wise, but they used him. They were leaning on him like crazy. In 2023 in Cleveland.
Yeah, it was most yard. And again, I don't know the exact numbers, but I did.
And that's a cold city as well. So, he's seemed to be versatile in different climates and elements. He's gone from Oakland to Cleveland.
Well, that's Dallas to
right
Buffalo. So yeah, he's hit some cold weather, which is the fact is that half of our games, except for when he goes, I'm going to Green Bay. The Raiders aren't. But the coldest he's going to be this year is Philly around Christmas, right? And Kansas City in October, where I will be there with Johnny, the guy that was just on the show. We're there, but that's it. That's cold. Okay. Denver on the Monday night, or the Thursday night, kind of cold in October, but that's it. There's 3 cold games this year for the Raiders, which is fantastic for them. And like I said, I don't poo-poo his ability. I don't. What I poo-poo is the drive. I'm kind of leery of the drive. When he's on, and he wants to be there, you know, he will get the job done. He doesn't
Well,
have.
do you think? I'm sorry. Do you think if he had more drive from your perception, then he would have 10 out of 10,000 yard seasons? Because he's got 10 years in.
Yeah,
He's got 7 out of 10.
yeah,
He dropped some passes. There's no wide receiver who hasn't. You should see Jerry Rice first few years in the league. He
yeah.
couldn't catch chlamydia in a Cambodian whorehouse back
I
then.
like. I heard that the other night from you as well. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good analogy, man, for sure. Or he couldn't catch AIDS in a Nigerian whorehouse, you know. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And and the other stat I know you're aware of, he has the most 200-yard games of any active wide receiver with 4.
that I did not know.
Yes, he's number 1. Everyone in the game, Jamar Chase, all of them, Cooper's at the top. Even Gorilla Rilla shared the stat. I had quoted it to someone, and then someone made a meme of it. But it's it's the truth. So, like you said, when he's on
He's
or
on.
everything's clicking, he has a chemistry with somebody. He's as smooth, fluid, and professional as they come. And I remember some Raider fans in that draft wanted Kevin White because he was faster. And I said, no, this is the kid to get. He had the pedigree. He had the Fred Beal Award. He stayed out of trouble. And he was the first Raider in 10 years. Imagine a whole decade without a wide receiver going for 1,000 yards. That was us. Randy Moss was the last one to do it prior to Amari Cooper. We went an entire decade without even one. So the good thing about Cooper is we know what he can do in a Raider uniform. Not like we're taking a chance with some guy who's never been here before or whatever. So I like it.
Yeah, but as of right now, because when you look at the depth chart, and I actually I kind of find it kind of fuck my excuse my tongue for I kind of find it perplexing. Maybe that's what I wanted to say. That Dante Thornton is listed as a backup, and the reason why I say that is I know that Amari was brought in not because of Jacoby. Everybody's doing the analogy. Jacoby acted up, so they brought in Amari because of Jacoby. Rightly so. Amari was brought in because Jack Besh has not appeared to be the guy we drafted based upon what we thought he was going to be. Okay. And I can see that as well. Jack Besh should be that guy. But even you know, and I know that Clifford Branch didn't do diddly shit until his second year, and basically the end of his second year, when it just became Cliff Branch. He became that guy, okay? But it took him a while. So, and I know you're gonna be pissed at this one, but Jacobs wasn't all that in a biscuit until his second year, because he kept running into the backs of his fucking blockers. But in his second year, it clicked, okay? And so it takes a while. It takes a while.
Yeah. Well, he did win the Offensive Rookie of the Year award, Jacobs, 2019. I remember wearing the buttons in Oakland as they were handing them out. But yeah, I mean, he got better, and that O-line was in a transitional period as Gruden was retooling it still, and Miller struggled heavily in his rookie year. I was afraid he was a bust for a minute. Thank God he turned the corner. One of the best things the Raiders did, and Mike Mayock, I can quote him, when they went after Incognito, they said they wanted Miller to have somebody he can learn from and relate to. And ever since then, that's when Miller kind of turned the corner and became closer to the guy we was hoping, him to be. Because that first year, oh my God, was a nightmare. Everybody and their mama was running over Colton Miller in his rookie year.
I agree.
And I'm also hoping that we do retain Myers, because I like that thought of him, Cooper, and Thornton being there. That's a very respectable trio. And I'm hoping by the end of this week we can get something done, because as we get closer to the season, it's going to get very interesting. I will give Jacoby credit, unlike some other athletes. I saw him in practice, being professional, suited up, not pretending that his ankle hurt or he got a stomach ache or nothing like that, or pouting like, Mr. 17 from a year ago. And he has delivered for us under some crazy circumstances, playing with about 4 different quarterbacks last year. Seemed like 4.
Yeah.
With AOC going down twice, and then Minshew, and then the dude we got, off of his sofa. So, sometimes you got to reward effort and productivity. It's not so much about the money, and that's another thing, Kat. Some of the fans, and sometimes you do this, we're so preoccupied with trying to save the Raiders money. We're the fan base who pay more for tickets than anyone else. That damn team is making money hand over fist in that damn stadium. More than anyone, maybe with the exception of Jerry Jones, perhaps. But this ain't the Oakland days where they're scraping and scrambling and panhandling. So if we got to pay top dollar, even on the secondary market for tickets, then where's this money going? Because I know Davis just built a nice mansion in Henderson, or right outside of Henderson. So why not reward productivity and effort?
He's not living in a shack or in a van down by the river. I get it. Okay. But Sharif, and I still say this, and don't throw the Star of David at me for this one. Please don't. I don't want to hear anything about being a cheap Jew. Because I know people are going to say this. But I will also say, because I said it was Spillane, and I know you and Mike Serra were bent when we got rid of Robert Spillane.
Yes.
And I know you guys are bent, but here's the thing, though. I said, if Robert Spillane is really worth all the money that the Patriots gave him, let's see it. I don't think he is. I think he was worth, like I said, I think I used the analogy, Robert Spillane was worth 40 cents. And we offered him, I think, like 38 cents, or maybe I'm fucking up the analogy. Or maybe I think we offered him 35 cents. He's worth 40 cents, and the Patriots offered him 50 cents. And I don't think he's worth 50 cents. And again, I'm using basic round number. I don't think he's worth 50 cents. I think he's worth 40 cents, and maybe at best. And we offered him 35 because, again, you're not going to overpay for somebody. I really want to say, play for this, play for the team. I don't see that a lot, and I am old school. And I'm showing it that way, okay?
Right.
But I don't want to overpay for anybody, and that includes.
You make a good general point. I think the only way you can overpay is if someone underperforms. Spillane didn't underperform. Not when you lead the team in tackles both years, and he seemed to flourish in Patrick Graham's system. Now, he might not do the same with the Patriots, with Mike Vrabel and them over there. But if he can flourish with what Graham does, and we've seen the results of that, you might want to retain that, because the constant turnover is another reason why we haven't made much progress in the last 20 years. We get somebody for 2 or 3 years, and they out of here. Like people could say, well, we don't want to overpay for Jacobs. Green Bay took a chance. Won the division, got to the second round of the playoffs. He scored 15 touchdowns. Nobody on our team could even, I think our whole offense barely scored 15 touchdowns.
You're probably about right.
Isn't that crazy? And now with Micah over there, they might be ready for a Super Bowl run, but we didn't want to overpay for them. No, it's only when you underperform, So I like rewarding effort within reason. Now 47 million a year like Parsons, that's astronomical.
No, that like I think Johnny was saying, or maybe it was either Johnny was saying it or Navman when I was on the show with them earlier, and thank you for popping in on that. That is you're one player away, just like Green Bay was one player away and they went out and they got Reggie White from the Eagles. So they were one guy away. They had Brett Favre. They brought in Reggie White to cap that team. Packers are closer to it now with him on that team. The Raiders we got to get about 6 players to get there. We are about 6 players away. And I mean that because I think we're going to start driving. We're going to be the guys that do the Legion of Boom 2 or whatever they call the Allegiant of Boom, whatever the fuck they're going to call the process, right? You trust the process. I hate when the fucking Sixers said that. Trust the process. Well, they did kind of, but they still never did what they set out to do in Philadelphia when they were trusting the process. Right. I think they're actually going to do that here. And I know that you don't like Fiasco, but you also didn't give Spytek a chance. But I think he's doing all the right things so far. I really think so. You said that it was a cronyism because of that quarterback that I'm going to see week 1 in a statue. I'm probably going to flip it off and take a picture of that. By the way, I'm going to Al Davis's house in Brockton on that Saturday. I can't wait to do that.
Wow. Okay.
You're not gonna be there though, right?
No, it's very unlikely. My birthday is Monday, and I will be on vacation that week. But Washington looks much more feasible for me.
Yeah, I got you. And I ain't going to see you and your gal in Denver, but get her. Make sure she gets something set up maybe for next year. Shall we say? But,
yeah, I will relay the news. But anyway, Cap, thanks always for the thoughts and the platform and opportunity. We're almost there, just a little more than a week or so.
Yeah, we're almost there. And by the way, Mike Sarah's giving you props. He said he's agreed with you twice tonight. And if you got Mike Sarah on an agreement, he's like, damn, I agree with, and he couldn't call you Dano, so I don't know. That just not to call you. But he agreed with you twice tonight. And you and Mike don't agree on much. So that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot, brother. I will say that.
I guess that means there's hope for the Raiders this year. So, maybe we can at least finish second place, which,
I like that. Yeah. If we finish second in the AFC West, I really think that is a playoff spot. That's why I put some money on the Raiders making the playoffs. For like fuck money. I did for fuck money. These are the bets I made. I said Raiders win 7. So that was one of my bets. And but it was minus numbers, but still it's if you win, you win. Right. I bet the Raiders making the playoffs for some fuck money, right? And then I bet Genty winning offensive rookie of the year, which is only because he was the favorite, but the Raiders offensive line has to perform in order for that to happen. Can they? Will they? I don't know, but I put some money on that too. So I'd like that. I'd like to have all my bets come in. And by the way, none of these are in Vegas. I did the Florida, Seminole Hard Rock because I can do it now. I'm like, yeah, I'm good with that. So I don't have to have anybody go get me either Bishop or Anna. I don't have to have them do it. I can do it out on my phone here. But I think the Raiders are going to be a lot better this year. The what is the lot better? I mean, like I said, if they win 5 games, they're better. I hope it's more. I hope it's 7. But just like that man was saying, if for all you people that are smoking dope, and Bishop says I think he said he has 12 wins. I think Bishop says 12-5. And that's a man of the cloth. Maybe the papal. He's not Catholic. What's the things that the Catholics swing around? The stuff you see at Christmas. With the big guy. With the big. I don't know what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
With the incense and shit. There might be something in that incense, man. I don't know. I know a bishop is not Catholic, but I just like to give him hell anyway. But it's fun. But hey, Thanos, Sharif, thank you for that. And again, it's always a pleasure. I don't always bitch at everybody. Incense. There you go. Mike Sarah says it. I don't always be. I'm just volatile. Like I said, I was on Jimmy Farrell's case today because he's a fucking bandwagon Yankee fan that was pissed off that the Yankees aren't doing their job. So he goes over to the Mets just to. I said, hey, the Phillies are still winning.
Yeah, that's a sin almost unspeakable. I don't know any Yankee fans who root for the Mets under any circumstance.
There you go. That's
that just doesn't happen. You know, that's like the Hatfields and McCoys. You know,
Yeah.
you know, I think the only time we kind of had a truce was 9/11, as you know, the Yankees made the World Series that year, and Met fans, you know, that was, you know, something totally bigger than sport.
National pride. There you go.
Right, but outside of that, no, that's he's unique. Let me just say that in that regard.
Well, I will say there's only one more person that's more unique, and I like that term, unique. My roommate in Gitmo. Get this. He's from New York. I don't know what part, but I think he's, you know, Bed-Stuy, maybe Harlem, you know, maybe, but somewhere in there. And I didn't quite catch it. He's from New York, but he is a New York Giants fan, and he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. And I told him, I said, Steve, that you can't do that. You can't be a New York Giants fan and a Dallas Cowboys fan. And he's like, yes, I am. I'm like, Steve, you can't do that shit. But he was. So that's the only person that's kind of off his rocker, you know, respect to. I don't know.
But anyway, Cap, thanks again, bro. And I will talk to you before kickoff.
Yes, sir. You take care. Thanks for coming in, my brother. It's always good hearing from you.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Black Dano, Sri Sala Khan popping in. I got some time. I was on a little bit late. Bishop say that now weren't they in second place for a couple days last week? Weren't they in second place for a couple days? I know actually they're still the third best team in the National League as of today. I know that because they were like a game or a little ahead of Philadelphia, but Phillies won and they didn't play today. So just saying, you were the man that said, who's going to beat them? Who's going to beat them? They were behind the Padres for a series. They're up now, but things change. And I'm not saying the Phillies are going to win. Hell, it could be the Brewers because the Brewers are the best team in baseball right now. The best team in baseball. And they got a great team. Don't ask me who the fuck is on that team. I don't know, other than the guy who used to play for the Phillies, the first baseman. I don't know anybody on that team. I think, was it Chorios or Trinos? I think that might be one. And then the Phillies player, and I'm brain farting his name. Played for the Phillies for first base. Okay, I don't know. Gordon Gartrell, they belong in Oakland. Who belongs in Oakland, sir? I like the. Oh, you're talking about the Raiders. Partner, I will say this: Dodgers getting healthy at the right. That's true. Phillies lost Wheeler for the year. That's gonna hurt. Not having Wheeler. Yeah, Raiders for sure. I got it. Losing the best, and I will say and don't talk to me about fuck. It's not Shohei Ohtani. He is not the best pitcher in the league. He's not. But Wheeler was the best pitcher in the National League, and they lost him. Gone. So that's going to hurt the Phillies' chances. Hell, I mean, Christian Sanchez is playing well. Oh, he is not the best player by far. He's the best hitter. But I will say this: when you have him pitch, he comes down as a hitter. It's unfortunate, but you can't be that. He's not Babe Ruth. He's not Babe Ruth. He's a good player. He's a good player. But Noah pitched well tonight. Chris Sanchez got bombed the other day, but he's pitched good. Luzardo's looked good. Hell, Taiwan Walker's looked good. But hey, it's the playoff. Phillies can't beat the Mets. Mets have won what? Was it 7 out of 9 games. If the Phillies play the Mets in the playoffs, the Mets are going to go. If the Dodgers play the Padres always play the Dodgers tough. So we'll see. I'm always going to be rooting for my Phillies, though. Always. Anybody, by having said that, if you'd like to come into the show tonight, I hope you're right, Ed. I really, really hope you're right. I hate the Mets. I really do. I really just can't stand the Mets. We'll see that. If you'd like to come into the show tonight, please do. We are at 10:30. We got at least a half an hour. So hit the link. I'll look at my phone real quick just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Ed Winchell, you owe me a picture. You know what I'm talking about, bro. You owe me a picture. The Phillies won 19-4. That was the final, 19-4. I said Schwarber with 4 home runs. Great game for the Phillies. But hopefully I'm just trying to get some things done here. I'm right about baseball. See, last year people said Mets, Yankees, etc. would win, but my Dodgers. But yeah, that's true. Jimmy, if you send Jay $80, we'll call it a wash. I don't know if Farrell's here anymore. He's just intent. He's intent on paying you $100. He's intent on paying you $100. Anyway, if you'd like to be in the show, Bishop, you can be in the show. Who's still here? I know Ed's still here. Dustin Adams, but that would be good to see you, sir. Come into the show tonight. Always good to have new friends. Mike Sarah, if you're out walking around or lifting weights, you can come in, sir. And I do believe that Besh will get better. He's a rookie, and Thornton just seems to have, his build and his speed has gotten him, on track faster. Thornton is the bigger, taller version of what, Cliff Ranch used to be. Like, he is Megatron-ish. He's not Megatron yet, but he is like was it DJ Metcalf or the DK Metcalf? Whatever. He's that big, and he's only going to get bigger, and he's going to get stronger, and might not get faster, but, if he drops a little bit, that's great. If he's Metcalf, he'll be starting real soon. But anybody, Chewy's here. Yeah, thank you there, sir. I appreciate that. Chewy's NFL News and Podcast. That's a good channel as well. If you were in here, that's a good channel as well. Matt Marino was talking about, was it the index card? Was that another index card game? Was that a Gene Steratore game? Did he fuck up that Des Bryant? Was that another game he fucked up? Oh my goodness. I'll have to look that up. But it was in Dallas. I'm like I said, I'm 99.999% sure it was in Dallas. So I will see Micah Parsons on a Monday night playing the Eagles. And hopefully I hope I can get close enough. I won't be wearing all of my Raider gear, but I'll be wearing my Captain Jack hat. and I might be wearing my Captain Jack coat. And I hope I see Josh Jacobs so I can show and say, hey, because I got his gloves when he threw them to me in Chicago. I got both of his gloves. So I'd love to have Josh Jacobs' other gloves as a Green Bay Packer. That would be cool. So anyway, what were we talking about tonight? Yeah, I would say again, the great player that Kyle Schwarber is either going to be a Philly or he's going to be a Red. Going to be a Philly or a Red. But we'll see. Hell, it's not even September yet. And Sharif did say this as well. Remember that Khalil Mack was traded on September 1st. So people that are saying we're going to get a deal done with Jacoby, I can dig that, but I don't think that Jacoby Myers is worth what he says he is. What he says he's worth. He's not worth that. Is he worth a bump? Sure. He's worth a bump. Whatever his income is, it was like 3 years, 33. He was making 11 a year. I get it. Is he worth more? Sure. But he ain't worth what he thinks he's worth. And the one wide receiver that's comparable was it the kid from the Broncos got a big pay raise. He ain't worth that. Oh, Jimmy Farrell's watching the U.S. Open. Okay. Mike, I agree with this. I'll take a good cornerback for Jacoby Myers. Because now that we got Amari Cooper, I'd take that. Wholesome Jeff, it's that. Brenda's here. Good to see you. Brenda, no. I'm not going. Brenda, if you want to see the Denver Raider game, it's going to be in Vegas. I'm not going to Denver on Thursday. No. But if you want to see the Raiders play the Broncos in Allegiant, you're my guest. But I need to know. Wholesome Jeff says, go Pats. Good to see you, sir. And as you know, everybody is welcome here on the show. A freaking tour of Allegiant is $90. Yes, it's gone up. What do you think about Cooper coming back? Actually, Brent, I wish you would have come in earlier. We were talking about that. Amari Cooper will be an asset. Especially if Jacoby gets swapped. But we'll see. I mean, Jacoby Myers and Amari Cooper there. Great. We got the cap space. Mark has the money. Yeah, I got it, but I don't want to overpay. Stoffel says 17.5. Maybe. What's the receiver in Denver that got the upgrade? Brendan, like I said, you will be my guest, which I need to know. You will be my guest for the Broncos game a whole weekend. But I need to know. I ain't going to Denver. No. Brendan, get a hold of me. You got my I hope you got my number. I hope get a hold of me. It'd be great to see you. Brenda and the crew from Denver. Cortland Sutton. Thank you, Mike. Cortland Sutton. Twan. Good to see Twan in here. That's the mark. He is not as good as Cortland Sutton. What did Cortland Sutton get? Because whatever Cortland Sutton got, he's not that. And I agree with this for Stoppel. We need a cornerback. Oh my goodness, we need a cornerback. So what did Cortland Sutton make it? And again, I will say I want to give a big shout out of warmth and prayers to my boy Raider Twan. The chaplain, I know Bishop's here. But Bishop has his congregation. But Twan has the congregation in his YouTube channel, the congregation, the Reverend Raider Twan. Blessings to you, sir, and I hope that you are doing well. Can't wait to see you. So if you want to come into the show, please. I'm still trying to figure out what Cortland Sutton was making. And put up the link one more time if you'd like to come into the show. Who was the gentleman that came in? That was the Patriots fan, a Wholesome Jeff. Good to see you. Freaking Tour of Allegiant is $90. Yeah, that's about right. Wholesome Jeff. And I remember paying. I know it was at least. I know I paid at least $75. So it's gone up a little bit. And when I went to the Allegiant Tour, here's how long ago it was. When I went to the Allegiant Tour, John Gruden was still the head coach. And I'm gonna say something. They say, don't let that cat out of the bag. Don't let the cat out of the bag. Don't be the surprise. Da, 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 da. And yeah, blessings from Raider Twan as well from Stoffel. There is a portion of the tour. You go into the Raiders locker room, and there is a hologram. When I went on the tour, the hologram was John Gruden. And you were talking in the Raiders locker room, and he was there, and you were getting so pumped. And it was dynamic. 1 second, folks. Pardon me. Usually I'm a double sneezer, so look for another one. But, well, Bishop, every team does it. They do it in Green Bay. And that's the team that's made up of where the owners are the people. You go on a tour of any major market stadium, you're gonna be charged. Blessings to you as well there, Twan. Thanks for the sneeze. Blessings to you. But if you'd like to come in the show tonight, I put the link up. And again, we have the Bishop in here. We got the Reverend Twan in here. Blessings to him. My girl Brenda from there we go. From Denver's in here. Yeah, please come on over. And our friend from that's the fan from the Patriots says go Pats. Wholesome Jeff, good to see you, Wholesome Jeff. But hopefully we'll see. Oh my goodness, I didn't even have any of my comment. I didn't have any of the comments on. My goodness. The next person that does the comment, you're going to see the comments. I had them off the entire show. Fuck. Oh my goodness, I had them off the entire show. If you'd like to come in tonight, because otherwise, it looked like we're gonna be out at 11 o'clock. So about 15 minutes. If you'd like to come in, please do. I'm gonna go find something on TV right now. See what's on. I know that actually, what was it? There was a game here. Is this live? Okay, yeah. The Nebraska at Cincinnati. That might be live. Let's see here. I know that USF beat the hell out of Ashton Genty's old team. Because they played them with trade Cowboys, the Packers. Packers trade 2 first rounds and Kenny Clark. They got off light. They got off light. 2-1s. Now they're going to pain through the nose, but 3-1s, a player, and another pick. That's what I would have done. Cortland Sutton. Can somebody tell me what Cortland Sutton made on that? Because if we do extend Jacoby Myers, okay, whatever Cortland Sutton makes, $1 less. What's your thoughts on wins this season, Asa Brown? I'm hoping they get 7, 5 to 7. Yeah, I agree with you, sir. If they get 7, then I win in Vegas. So we are going to be joined by, and stupid me didn't have the comments up all night. We're going to be joined by my boy Rafa. Rafa's going to bring us all the way over to 11 o'clock Eastern. How you doing, sir? What's going on?
Hey, I'm definitely good right now because right now I'm just getting tired right now because I was working since 7 a.m. And to be honest, right now, after work, because I was like having a conversation with one of the owners of the Appalachian State football in North Carolina, because tomorrow is going to be Appalachian State football versus Charlotte Niners at the Duke Mayo at the Bank of America. This is going
Okay.
to be like the week 1 of college football.
Yeah. Well, actually, is it week 1? Because didn't they play last week and it was week 0 last
Yeah,
week? This is week 1. Yeah,
yeah,
because week 1 is always Labor Day weekend. So yeah, it is this weekend.
yeah, yeah. And of course, because I just wanted to talk for a little bit about the situation of Micah Parsons. I
Okay.
understand that Micah Parsons gave me like a lot of money to Green Bay Packers, but the only thing that we needed for is because we need more corners, and of course, we need like some edible players, like some players that we needed for to reinforce the defense, because I understand because the cash space is not gonna be like too much, because we're not gonna spend like a lot of money just like the crazy one. No, if it's one player that adjusts the system, it will become cheaper. That could be a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we are more. We are like 6 players, 7 players away. We're not that one guy away. If we were one guy away, then Parsons would have been the guy. Okay. If we were one guy away, I could see going for it. But we're not. We need we need 2 cornerbacks, not just one. We need 2 cornerbacks. Okay. Because the guy that we drafted might not be the guy. He might be, but we need at least another one of those cornerbacks. And the linebackers that we had in the draft, maybe they will be the guys, but maybe not. That's why we got Roberts and Pratt and Devin White. That the older guys. We need the interior defensive line to show what they have. Is it going to be Tyree and Pegues and Hemingway? Sure, maybe. When they get from underneath them, we are a couple linemen away. And I love the fact I want to see Laki Tassi play.
Yeah,
I want to see him play, and we need another receiver. Like I said, we drafted Thornton, we drafted Besh. That's great, but we need to see them play. And I'm gonna say we got a quarterback in Geno Smith, but how long is Geno going to be our quarterback? We need another quarterback to groom. So how many players or teams that I play, all these players and positions I mentioned, those are 6, 7 guys we need for a couple of years. And that's why we're not there yet, but we're getting there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And the fact that you brought, we need some more players because we just wanted to add more speed at wide receivers, because I understand that we just drafted Aston Genty, Duncan Jordan Jr., Jack
Mhm.
Badge, and of course, because we needed two more to adapt the new system. I know it's not gonna be like really easy, but the only reason is we had to be like really patient because I understand the team is gonna be like so much incredible because we have the speed, the production, we have the aggressive, but we needed to take care about because we need the tackle system that it needs to get involved and improve because all over for the preseason the tackling system doesn't work at all, but we needed to get improved. And of course, we need some like more than corners. We need something to reinforce that defense that we can change at all. And it's not gonna be like really easy because I know that we have cash space to spend some players that will become so like very cheaper and they won't get adjust they're going to be adjust for the system of Chip Kelly and Patrick Graham.
Yes. Oh, by the way, this is the answer Michael Givens. Did I see Schwarber
Oh,
tonight? Yes, I did. Four
oh,
dingers, baby. Four dingers. And I wish I would have seen. Yes, I did see Schwarber. So good to see you
yeah,
on that. Hey, I know, Rafa, you still a Yankees fan, right?
yeah.
Okay. 'Cause I'm giving Jimmy Farrell a bunch of grief because he's a disgruntled Yankees fan. So when the Yankees don't do for him, he becomes a Mets fan. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Wow.
You don't know. You're a Yankees fan. You stay with the Yankees, or as I
Yeah,
like to say, the Yankees. That come on,
yeah.
you don't. You don't
Anyways, I just wanted to hop off right now because I just wanted to tell you salute to everybody, salute to
think
Captain Jack, and of course next week is gonna be really huge because there's only
that's
one
right.
nation, and that's the Raider Nation.
You got hey, Rafa, always good hearing from you, brother. Remember,
Yes,
Rafa, I'm gonna get rid of the. I'm gonna get rid of the. I wanted to say I didn't do it. Rafa did it. Make sure you go Capitan Rafuccio on YouTube. Give Rafa some love. He's always his heart's always there. Maybe he's doing the what what is it the old just save money. Hey, Kev, cool Kev. I remember I would tell cool Kev, cool. I got to see your face, man, and he had to turn on the lights, dude. Whatever. Hey, to each his own. Folks, we're about 7 minutes away. We're 7 minutes away. Um, for those who are keeping score at home, okay, the only bets that have been adhered to is James Farrell and Ed Winchell have a bet for $100 that Geno Smith will play in all 17 games. Hey, there he is. There he is. Raider Shield family. For folks that don't know, if you're not a member, please go to Raider Shield family. Look them up. Raider Shield family. I don't know what this what the I don't know what that was it the icons, the emojis are. Go to Raider Shield family. Go to Raider Shield family. I was on with him earlier. It's always good to see him. Oh, but going over, I said the only bet that has been consecrated that is official. No, there are two. $100 that Geno Smith plays all 17 games. Jimmy Farrell believes that he will. Jimmy Farrell believes that Geno Smith will play all 17 games. And Ed Winchell doesn't believe that he will. And I don't believe he will too. And that's not saying anything bad on Geno, just stuff happens. So that's the bet. And the other bet is that the Raiders need to win 11 games. That is be by me and Raider Fearless, aka Hot Neil. Before I leave tonight, I am so happy to be joined. I'm going to go a little over. Because I'm bringing in my shipmate Raider Twan.
Hey.
Raider Twan, how are you doing, sir? It's always good to see you.
Hey, don't go over. I'll do my best to fit the schedule.
No, we got. I mean, let's put it this way. I can go past 11 o'clock. I try not to do over 2. So we got at least a good 10, 12 minutes for that.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah. I don't want to mess up production.
No, you're good, brother. Like I said, even if I go over 2 hours, for you are worth going over.
Appreciate
you. You are worth going over, man. You're my boy. What's like the old Will Ferrell in the movie where they're on campus and it's like, you're my boy, Blue. You know, it's like, that's it. You're my boy, Twan. That's it, man. I do that.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Much love, man. I wish I could radiate the love that you send this way, man. For real.
Nah, you do every time you pop in. You do every time you pop in. You do, sir. So what's going on with you? How stoked are you? Yeah, see, even Shield says that. Old school Nada says, yeah, old school. You're my boy, Blue, and you're my boy, Twan. So positive thoughts to you. What are your thoughts tonight on the Raiders? Like I said, feeling good about Cooper, feeling good about Pickett. I like Pickett. I think he'll do. I actually think Pickett will do a better job than AOC 12 would have. I think so. I think he'll do a better job.
You know what, Captain Jack, and I think we talked about this on your show the last time I was on when we were asking, at that time, AOC, Aiden O'Connell was hurt and we were trying to figure out what to do, right? And I said, we need somebody that has played in the NFL, that has been a starter at some point, possibly have won some games, and someone that can tie us over. And, I'm not completely thrilled about Pickett. Something about them small hands got me kind of scared, but
that's the only thing I said, Mr. Small Hands.
Yeah,
because he went to his hands, and I don't know how big I don't have big hands either. So ladies, just because I don't have big hands, I don't want to hear about it. Okay. But Kenny Pickett does not have big quarterback hands. His hands are smaller. Mm-hmm. His hands are smaller. And so that's the detriment. Go ahead, sir.
And for those that are worrying why two grown men are talking about another man's hands, in regards to quarterback, it's a very serious thing in regards to ball security. The bigger a person's hand is, the more, they say statistically, is more secure in regards to ball security. So a guy that has small hands at the quarterback position is a red flag in certain situations. So that was the only thing that I had in regards to Pickett, but all the other things, he's been a starter in this league. He's won some games as a starter in this league. And I can't be mad at that. I think he fits in regards to him and Geno have a very similar play style. And I think that's another reason why he fits with us, in regards to, if he does come in, we don't have to really change much in the playbook, because he'll be able to run pretty much what Geno runs. Of course, there will be certain things that Pickett will like out of the playbook that Geno may not particularly like, and Chip Kelly will probably most likely call some more likely the plays that Pickett does like out of the playbook, but some of those motions, some of those actions, he should be able to simulate those actions in the playbook. So
yeah, and Pickett is mobile. I mean, they don't want him to be mobile, but he's mobile. He's a hell of a lot more mobile than the statue that is AOC 12. I'll say it. That's why AOC 12 has his issues. He reminds me. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this. He reminds me of our old quarterback Walter, number 16. who just was a statue back there, and he just got shellacked. I can't remember what Walter's first name. He played for Arizona State, if you remember that, a long time ago when we were doing the bread and breakfast offense, and it was horrible. But Andrew Walter, there you go. He reminds me of Andrew. He's a statue back there, and it's unfortunate. He's just going to get killed one of these days.
I've said this on my channel plenty of times, and this is something that I'll definitely still stand on the soapbox and preach, is that, running should be not a necessity, but it should be an accessory. You know what I'm saying? It should just be something like earrings. You don't really need it, but it looks good when you got it on. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it should stay.
I show my bling. I got my bling. I got my bling.
Yeah, looking good there. See, that's an accessory. You know what I'm saying? Captain Jack looks good without the earrings, but it pops even more because he has earrings on. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be at quarterback.
Yeah, and for all those they're saying, I hope we do not see Kenny Pickett this year.
Oh, absolutely.
But if we do see Kenny Pickett, then that means that Ed Winchell won the $100 bet, for one thing. If we see Kenny Pickett for starting a game because Geno's not in there, he wins the bet. Okay, I think the parameters were actually if Kenny Pickett starts a game and then he gets hurt and then Geno comes back in, then technically he would have been, if that game is his. But if Geno's gone for a game, then and Kenny Pickett's there, Ed Winchell wins the bet. That's $100 that Jimmy Farrell owes him, and I'm hoping that the Raiders play well enough to win. Okay, but I like what he can do. Like you said, the small hands in cold climate. Yeah, in cold climates, that's it. But I remember a game in Pittsburgh that actually Derek Dallas Carr remembers that game in Pittsburgh. It was the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Deception.
Mm-hmm.
The 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Deception. It was Derek Dallas Carr's last game as the Raiders quarterback. And who won the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers? None other than your man, Kenny Pickett.
And also, some people may not forget, but as I'm not going to say his full government name because I'm not that.
I do it for sure.
Yeah. But I'm not on that level. But Derek Carr, he was also another quarterback that had some smaller hands, and that's why we saw throughout the seasons. We saw plenty of times where he get hit and there go the ball, or he's fumbling the ball, in the end zone.
Every time he fumbled the ball out, I remember it in Green Bay because I saw that game. He fumbled out of the end zone. 2 plays later, the Packers get a touchdown. I remember the game against Dallas where he fumbles, or no, I'm sorry, it was in Philly. He fumbles out of the end zone. I think that was the Sterator game as well. I think that both of those happened in the same game. In Philly, Derek Dallas Carr fumbles out of the end zone. The Raiders lose it off bounds, and then Sterator pulls out the index card and blows it up. And they were leaning the fucking stick back. Of course they don't have it when you're leaning the stick back, and then you throw a fucking prop there, never been used before, and now it's against the rules. You can't even do something stupid like this. Yeah. But I don't know. There was pluses and minuses to Derek Carr. Derek Carr was a fairly good passer of the ball, but his ball security was an issue. And then what the moth to the flame situation was that because Derek Carr was who he was just, he was a gamer. He was trying to do whatever he could to, we saw one of his highlights is him getting blown up on the sideline, flipping over for the first down. He was just that type of guy. So along with that, his smaller hands, sometimes it went the other way. So No, actually, I think I'm Mike, sir. I'm very sorry. I think you're wrong, sir. I'm pretty sure it was in Philadelphia that it was the territory. Well, I know for that the Derek Dallas car with the reach out, I'm pretty sure was in Philly near Christmas, kind of like it was this year. I'm pretty sure it was Philly. I'm pretty sure, and I might be I don't recall. Was it Dallas in Oakland, because it was outdoors? It was an outdoor thing, and if it was Dallas, then it would have been in Oakland. So maybe so on that one, but I'll have to look again. But yeah, you might be right, sir. I just thought it was Philly. Anyway,
but even move forward, because we talked about Pickett, and I think again that checked off the things that I said, that because I was going to do. It's crazy that I'm glad that Spike Tech was on the phone immediately, like I said, because I was just saying what I wanted, but I didn't go. I didn't have enough time to do my homework and figure out, hey, who's out there that fits that criteria, and he was one of those guys. And I think and Spike Tech talked about it, later on. He said, hey, I looked at Cleveland and saw the the Walmart of quarterbacks that they had over there, and I knew somebody was going to be available, and he fit the trigger. I do like Amari Cooper. There is some things that I don't like about Amari Cooper. I think when he left, there was a couple of things that left a bad taste in my mouth in regards to him. Some of the things he said, after leaving the team, but he has a chance to win some of us that are feeling that way over. I hope his drops were in the past, because we're going to need him to definitely be the option that he is. I think the route running is still going to be there for him, and I think it if we're asking for him to be the option, in regards to a veteran wide receiver, I think that would be the wrong choice. I think it would really benefit us if we had Jacoby and Amari Cooper out there on the field at the same time. I think there's just something, and some people are going to hate me on this, but this is just my Raider gospel on the situation. I think if you had Jacoby Myers on one side, Amari Cooper on the other side, and Trey Tucker in the slot, that becomes a issue for a lot of teams. You have route running all over the field. You don't know what route is going to be with who's running which route. Everybody, I'm saying, even though Trey Tucker is the faster wide receiver, they all can run a deep ball, I'm saying, and get it done. So I think that just causes some issues for defenses if we go three wide receivers with Jacoby, Cooper, and Trey Tucker.
okay.
No discredit to the younger guys. I think with the younger guys, I think it benefits them to actually sit and watch these guys. One of the issues that has came out, and some people want to disagree and some people want to agree on it, is that Dante Thornton needs to learn some routes. So if he needs to learn some routes, why not learn from one of the best, one of the ones that's best at running routes in Amari Cooper? You know what I'm saying? If he's not getting anything from Jacoby Myers, definitely he can get something from Amari Cooper.
Right. And see, that's the thing. And Amari Cooper's best asset right now is his, and I was looking at the years of experience. It's like Amari's got 11 years in. I think Roberts has like 11 years. Roberts is like, I was like, wow, I didn't realize how long he's been in there. But Landon Roberts is like a year 11. Cooper's year 11. And Jacoby Myers, I think, is year 8. But Cooper is the oldest guy. And I think, obviously, I think Miller has close to that as well. But you're talking about the experience that you need with Cooper there. He can run routes, and that's his forte.
Him and Colton are really close. I think they actually came. I'm not it's kind of fuzzy, but I think they may have came out the same year.
No, I will say that
No. Cooper
pick.
came out first, and then
Miller was a first round pick, but I think it was the year after. Or maybe 1 or 2 years after, because Cooper was first round out of Bama, and then Miller was first round out of UCLA, and it was there within a year or two of each other.
Yeah, because that was the year we got Colton and Brandon Parker.
Oh my God! Oh, you're killing me, Twan. Parker.
Parker got cut, but he's still floating around in this league. It's not like he's completely on the couch somewhere. You know, like people still knocking on Parker's door. So
very nice guy, but to me, Brandon Parker, I used to call him I call him the Old West, because Brandon Parker is like the swinging doors in the saloon. You know, that's Brandon Parker. He's the swinging doors, man. It's like get past Brandon. It's like busted. Oh, there's in the swinging doors, and Brandon Parker's letting you in, man. Oh,
and you know what? He started to play good for a little bit, but then as soon as he started playing good, then he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? The injury bug again. You know, and that was the issue also with Parker too. He was up and down with his injury. So it's like, can we rely on you? We want you to be the, you know, back up to, you know, maybe possibly compete to be the starter, you know what I'm saying, on that right tackle, because we had anybody with size could have been a right tackle for us for a couple of those years, you know what I'm saying? So he's still floating around.
That's amazing. I do not know that. I'm doing my Johnny Carson. I did not know that. You know, it's like he used to do that in the old days. But yeah, I mean, I actually like the fact that, and I know that he was a fan of Lincoln's. Mumford was Lincoln's boy, you know, the swing tackle. But the kid that we got from the Seahawks that we put in his place, I can't remember, it's Stone something or other, but he is big, and he's going to be that guy, the swing tackle, the tackle that is experienced. You can plug him and play him. You know, if somebody, God forbid, gets hurt, he's that guy. If you need an extra tackle instead of a tight end to block, he's that guy. I know his first name is Stone.
Stone Forsythe.
There you go. He's a Gator too. That's another reason why I like him. I'm being honest. I'm biased. You know, he's a Gator, so I like him in that respect. I like him.
He's a rotational, you know what I'm saying, lineman. They have familiarity with him because he came, you know, he was he did have a cup of coffee with the Seahawks, so they know him. There's some statistics that don't look pleasing in his favor, but obviously there's something that they see within him, that they pulled the trigger on him. And I was, with Mumford, I was done with that experiment. What I saw in the preseason, and for me, my gauge in the preseason is probably a little higher than some. In the preseason, they're doing very, basic stuff. And if you're not doing the basic stuff well, I'm I'm kind of like, hey, you gotta go. And Mumford, this whole preseason, I don't know what it was. I don't know if his girlfriend cheated on him or somebody, gave him the wrong cereal in the morning, but he just did not have it, this preseason. And, if you can't show the basics, then, we need to definitely, because we're struggling. And this is something I'm probably going to talk about a little later on, in a live. But we're going to struggle because we're very top heavy. There's really not much depth that we can rely on, on this roster. So if our backup rotational, tackle is Thayer Mumford, you better hope we stay as healthy as we did this preseason.
Right. And I said, Thayer Mumford's gone, so now it's Stone. So he's gone. So I would see Mumford need a water boy. That's some quality H2O. That's some quality H2O. That's for sure. Like I said, if we stay healthy, maybe we win the 10 or 11 games that some of the people have. But you got to be healthy. You can't have any major injuries to pull off. I'm saying it, to pull off 10 or 11 wins, you got to be healthy. No major injuries at all. And unfortunately, what was it, right out the box last year? Marcus Epps was gone like the first game. He was gone the first game. But then we found out that Polamalu actually could play safety, which was nice that we found out. Merrick played well, but he took that playing well and got a good contract out of it. I said, hey, Thrash is here. Good to see you, brother. Good to see Thrash in here.
And I want to say shout out to our I'm gonna just say strength and conditioning. I'm probably gonna say all the terms wrong, but all the people that's working on the bodies over there in the facility. Hey, when you can say 2 out of the 90 were were injured, then you did a great job. You know what I'm saying? When only 2 out of the 90 that were at camp came out, you know what I'm saying, injured, and 88 were healthy, that is a good camp. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So shout out to them for whatever they're doing, health wise, eating wise, because I know over there they probably have a whole program for those guys. They probably have them eating certain things for lunch. They giving them shakes and protein and all that stuff. So shout out to the whole camp over there that kept these guys healthy, and hopefully they can be able to do that for us. Like I said, because we're very top heavy, I hope that they can do that for us the whole season.
Yeah, and again, and remember, Deuce Gruden is still part of that strength and conditioning staff, so he's actually making his money. He's actually doing well.
He's a part of the group that actually, when like, for an example, when Max Crosby came in and he looked like a string bean, but then a year or two later he looked like he looked like a real football player. That's where Deuce comes in. He's the bodybuilder. So all these guys that you've seen that they look one way, and then the next season they look like they need to oil themselves up and try to get some do some competitions. That's a part of Deuce Gruden. Deuce Gruden is a bodybuilder himself, and that's where he that's where he loves. And some people were some people that were hating on Gruden. Hey, Deuce Gruden is still in here, we need to get rid of him. Like, no, he's doing his job, because some of these guys are coming back looking like sculpt pieces, and it's because of Deuce Gruden's program.
For sure.
And whoever else is with that team.
Yeah, for sure. If he does his job well, I don't care what his name. Now, remember, there is a lot of nepotism in the NFL. There is nepotism, but if you are doing your job, then they can't really bitch about you not doing your job.
He's holding his weight.
Yeah, no pun intended.
No
pun intended. Sure. 1 second. I said I would say. I gotta say yes, but it's not available. I'm multitasking. Somebody's asking me what games are available, and so I need to let them know.
Says, I hope nobody's in the Super Bowl this year. I'm hoping for 10-7, possibly the playoffs. Hey, that's gonna be a tall task. I just my personal opinion. I think because of where we are roster wise in the just the wear and tear of the season, it's going that Geno bet. I think that might be able to get through. but there's give and take. There's going to be some injuries throughout the season because that 17 games, you know what I'm saying, is a lot on a person's body, and trying to keep that healthy. You're yeah. So,
and actually we looked at, and it was like Gino, I think, played all 17 last year, and I think Herbert surprisingly played all 17 last year, plus the playoff game. So he played 18 last year. So that was, I thought that Herbert would have missed the game last year, but apparently he played all 17. So that's amazing as well.
Yeah.
But you got, and you remember, you got the bye week. And folks, I'm telling you this, there will be 18 eventually, because that 17, that odd number shit just does not work well. It does not work well.
I think they've already talked about the 18 game coming soon. Yes, there's some rumblings already about the 18th game. So yeah, who knows? We live long enough, we might be at 20 games.
Partner, if we get the 20 games and I'm still alive and kicking, I will say praise everybody. I don't care what you call God. Praise Allah, praise God, praise Yahweh, praise Buddha, praise everybody. And I'm not being sacrilegious. I swear I am not being sacrilegious. Whoever you call God, praise that person, because if I live to see a 20-game schedule in the regular season, praise everybody. I mean that.
And the reason why I said it like that is because it just seems like they playing towards the money. As much as they can get, whoever the streaming service to play us on, we might have some Wednesday night games. You know what I'm saying? Like it might get to, it really might get to that, because money what they say, money rules the world, or money makes the world go around, or however you want to play it.
Yep.
These guys are going for it. Hey. So who knows?
Just like, hey, Liza sang it. Money makes the world go around, the world go around, the world. I'm a cabaret. I can sing show tunes, Twan. I can sing show tunes. There you go. Money does make the world go around, baby. It's true.
And they're just gonna have to play off that. I hope they do make some type of concessions for that, whether they add more players to the roster, or bring in maybe some more bye weeks to keep some of these guys afloat, but definitely it is a possibility.
Figure 18 will get you 2 bye weeks, right? Because then you have the even schedule, 2 bye weeks, so that would be 20 weeks, just on the regular season. They'll cut down, because the preseason is 3, they'll go down to 2. They'll go down to 2 preseason games.
I don't think I like that.
Which is a bitch, but they're going to tell people what and football players now are more they're more in shape than they were in the past. Okay, you come into camp, you stay fit the entire year round. Back in the 60s, people had other jobs. They had the insurance job, and they worked at the grocery store, or they worked doing whatever, or when they actually put their college education to use doing whatever in the off season. That's what they did, because football money didn't pay the bills. It was that was a nice stipend, but you had to get a job when you were in the spring and summer. You needed a job. But nowadays, your job as a football player, you best be in shape, because you can go at the drop of a hat. You're going to somebody else, and you got to know a new system and all this other shit. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is.
Yeah, they like I said, the money is definitely ruling things around here, and that whole Micah Parsons deal. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it's good. It's good money if you can get it.
Yeah,
Good if you can get it.
Yeah, yeah. And like you said, the players are starting to be more, developed, and because a lot of these players is nonstop. They're year round. They play for their, they play for their high school team, and then in the off seasons they're playing 7-on-7. You know what I'm saying? Or they're going to the they're going to these clinics and these facilities that are what's the big one, Exos or whatever that people go to.
Oh, Exos. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Well, hell, even in like in Florida here, they have like I can't remember but it's around IMG Academy. It's right in this area here in the Bay Area, and it's basically being recruited. You're a high school guy recruited to play for IMG, and it used to be like in old days. It used to be like Admiral Farragut for basketball, because the basketball players were playing for Admiral Farragut years ago. I think Kevin Garnett played for Admiral Farragut. I might be mistaken, but it used to be Admiral Farragut was the high school IMG of old, right? IMG is now that place it is, and Florida and Texas are always been ahead, even ahead of California. It's Florida had these places and Texas had these places, and they even had better facilities than they did out in California. So that it is a job. Your job is to stay in shape. That is your job.
Yeah.
Twan, what else is going on, brother? Because I'm gonna play the old man card.
Oh, hey, it's fine. You can definitely go. I'm just saying, I'm optimistic still on this team. I'm still holding the flag for this team, but I got to be realistic in my approach, and definitely what I say on screen, because people will grill me for my takes. So I try to do my best to do my homework.
No, you do, and that's why I flipped the screen. Remember, if you are not watching the Chaplain of the Nation, Raider Twan, remember, you can find him on his YouTube channel. You go at Twan. That's his IG, by the way. I know these things. I know these things. Find him on IG at Twan. The Raider Twan is the YouTube channel, and it's always a pleasure, sir. And I say this with respect. You and Bishop and Rue J and Ken Thompson and the people that keep me in positive thought, prayer, and mind. I would not be here today if it weren't for the good folks that keep me in thought, prayer, and mind. There are others, but you're the ones that come right off the top of my head, because y'all are devout. You are very serious about your beliefs and feelings. That's why I said you keep the old Jewish Christian, Judeo-Christian guy alive. And if it wasn't for you, I'd be in a box. Remember, Jews get buried in a box, and that's it. It's just a plain old box. They don't even go out with the frills like all the guys do. They get buried in a box, folks, and there's no nails in it. The box has like glue, so that everything goes back to God. Everything goes back to the earth. The glue and the wood, it rots. Your body rots. And I find it's kind of eerie that way, but that's just the way it is. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go out like in a Christian box. I don't know. I did the things. But I'll say I'll be at my Christian half that day. But again, Twan, thank you, sir, for being you, sir. And again, please keep in good health, because remember, we all think highly of you, and we want to make sure that you are doing well, sir. And if not, give me a call, just because you say if anybody needs a helping hand or an ear to call you up, I say to you, sir, same thing applies. You call me up and I'll listen to you.
Appreciate you. Hey, and I don't mind, again, you talking about me praying for you. I don't mind doing it, because there's somebody out there that's praying for me. And that's simply simple put. But again, Raider Twan on YouTube, thanks for having me, Jack. It's always a blessing to be on screen and hear your voice and talk to you. Definitely talking about this team that we both love.
That's true. That's our loves there. And again, am I going to see you this year out in Vegas sometime or somewhere else?
You know, I'm trying to work all that I'm still fingers crossed. I might try to make it out to the home opener, and then after that we'll see where things go. I got some personal physical things.
Hey. The Raiders are a nicety. They're it's not a necessary. They're not a necessary. They're a nicety, because whether you're there or not, you're there with us, because
Absolutely.
you're going to talk about the game with us. It's not a necessary. What is a necessity is your health, sir. That is a necessity. I should say I should say that for myself too, because
Hey, I think that goes across the board for everybody, but appreciate it. Definitely needed that.
All right, Twan, you take care of yourself, sir. Again, it's always good hearing from you. And I said Raider Twan or Twan at ID. Hit him up. He's always, like I said, the Bishop's great people. Twan's great people. Rue J is great people. Ken Thompson, great people. And they all have they're all devout, and I love that about them. They're all good like that.
All right. Blessings to everybody.
That's it. Thank you. Take care of their shipmate. That's Twan, man. I love Twan. I do. And I mean it, man. Good people that they are. So now that it is 11:30, and I've been on for 2 hours and almost 25 minutes, I'm gonna hit it. I got I got pictures of my brand new. Well, now that it's sealed, my brand new pavers out front, and now I have a 3-car driveway. I love it. Or actually 2 trucks in a car, but you know what I'm saying. Awesome. 25 years I've waited. 25 years. And now I got it. So once I get the jacuzzi in the back, I'll take this nice 70-inch TV here. That's nice, but it's not up to date. That goes out in the lanai. That's gonna be a bitch ass TV in there, and I'm gonna be hitting the treadmill. I need to do that anyway. Treadmill there with the jacuzzi, and that's right out these doors. And here's my room here. I'm awesome. I mean, I can't wait. If you are in my area, if you are a Raiders fan, and you're in the Tampa area, please come by and see me. I will show you the room. It's boring. Tampa's boring. Well, it's not boring if we're with me. Ed Winchell's going to be coming out one of these days. I'm going to come out and see Ed Winchell one of these days, and Ed Winchell's going to find me some pictures one of these days. Ed Winchell's going to be with me when we play the Bears, and we'll be getting in all sorts of trouble. All sorts of trouble. Oh, working out? Yeah, but it's better for me, Ed. I know. I got to do it. I got to do it. You take care of you, though. But this, and I got a compliment the other day. I won't say who, but I got a compliment, and they were feeling up these. I said, you work out. And she was feeling up the right biceps. And the lefts ain't as good. There's a reason for that. And we even laughed about it. Yeah, there's a reason why the right is a little bit more adept at the left. Just what I'm saying. Got to get the guns worked out. Y'all take care. We'll see you on the next show tomorrow night. Me being on the Mad Bomber show. It's at Mad Bomber Podcast. At Mad Bomber Podcast. I'll put that in here. Okay. YouTube tomorrow night. Go to YouTube. Put it at Mad Bomber Podcast. There you go. There's the link. At Mad Bomber Podcast. Tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. I will be there with Johnny Hopefully Johnny doesn't have the troubles yet. And I was wondering, was it me or was it him? I hope that tomorrow it's not his issue. Tomorrow night, 9 Eastern at Mad Bomber Podcast. Oh, I don't want this. Why am I looking at him? Okay, it's friggin'. I don't need to look at fucking Patrick Mahomes. Don't need to look at Patrick Mahomes. Fuck Patrick Mahomes. Y'all take care. I will see you. I'm going to do my outro. We'll see you tomorrow night at Mad Bomber Podcast. We'll see you.